Kjersti, it's been a very busy time for you this week. You know, the Nobel Peace Prize has just been announced last Friday, so thank you for being here, considering I'm sure there are many demands on your time. But for those of you that haven't met Kjersti before, she is the Executive Director of the Nobel Peace Center since February 2020, so just at the start of the pandemic. So you're still there, so something's good going on. She's the former Secretary General of UNICEF in Norway, and has served on several boards, including a 4-year stint as chair of the aid organisation Care Norway. And from 2012, you've worked as a business consultant and advisor, focusing on sustainability and the term that I told us not to talk about this morning, CSR, but it's in there. There you go. So you're going to share with us some gems to take away. We have 15 minutes, or I will shimmy at you, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you so much, Reverend. I hope so that I will keep within the 15 minutes. So let's see, this is me. This picture was taken by the astronaut William Anders on the famous Apollo expedition. And they went to discover the moon. But afterwards, some of them said that the greatest discovery perhaps was this picture. To see the planet Earth, how lonely, little and isolated it is, and how vulnerable it is. And yes, we have known that for many years, that this planet is all we have. It is where we live, all of us, and we're all interconnected. And thank you so much, James, for reminding us how badly we care about this planet when it comes to actions. And the IDG movement is very correct to point out that we need to do something different and much, much more than we currently do. And this is why I am so proud to be here at the IDG Summit, because at the Nobel Peace Center we are 100% in line with IDG movement's aim to educate, inspire and empower individuals, organizations and society to be a positive force for change. We need to change and we need to act now. We share the IDG vision that a better world is only possible if each and one of us, individuals and managers of organizations alike, use our unique position or qualities to do our part. As you said, Rodney, on Friday we got a new Peace Prize laureate. The Nobel Committee announced the Peace Prize for 2022 to Nihon Hidankyo, an organization that has been working against nuclear weapons. And many of us were surprised, but I think there's no doubt that this recognition is both timely and profoundly significant. The stories of the Hibakushas, survivors of the atomic bombings in 1945, reminds us that we must never allow such a destruction to happen again. It has severe human consequences, but also severe climate consequences if atomic bombs are going to be used. And the Nihon Hidankyo shows us how individual and grassroots movements can influence global political principles. They themselves have been working to create the taboo around nuclear weapons and use of nuclear war. A taboo that is currently less and less significant, unfortunately. But their testimonies help us understand the unimaginable and think the unthinkable. And this effort by civil society is being honored with this year's Peace Prize. Oops, it's too fast. In December, once again, the spotlight is going to be in Oslo, as the representatives from the organization is coming to Oslo to give the lecture and to receive the medal and the acknowledgements. And this, of course, is a very exciting time for us at the Nobel Peace Center and the whole Nobel family in Oslo, as we are part of the celebrations in many ways. Not at least because they're going to open the exhibition about themselves during the days, and we could have left it to the celebrations. However, this seems like a big lost opportunity. Rather, we have decided to use ourselves as a platform to bring the power of these incredible people to everyone, to educate, inspire, and empower individuals to be a a positive force for good. And we will do our utmost to support the new laureate. But more importantly, perhaps, many of them possesses the willingness and ability to use dialogue as a method to solve conflicts and find new solutions. A set of skills that are increasingly important in a world with polarization, hatred, conflicts, and crises that we are not able to solve. We do need a different way to live together, relate, and learn from each other. And we can learn a lot from these people. They have shown extraordinary leadership and achieved almost the unthinkable in their fields through dialogue. The more power, the more responsibility, or the greater responsibility each and one of us has. But everyone with the slightest power or means need to ask him or herself, what can I do to support and protect nature, society, and democracy? And of course, this is particularly pressing if you are heading an organization or a business, I think. How will I lead in order to be part of the solution rather than the problem? At the Nobel Peace Center, we are all about the Peace Prize laureates, as I said, but to bring this gift of dialogue out to the society and out to the world is much more important than being a museum where people can learn passively about these people. So our kind of contribution would be to encourage people to actually dive into to dialogue. And we think that at least if we can teach people what dialogue is and how it can be applied in families, in schools, work-life management, society, and politics, we have achieved a lot. But what is exactly dialogue? The word dialogue is composed of two words from Greek, dia, meaning through, and logos, meaning words, through words. In everyday speech, we often confuse dialogue with speaking together, but dialogue is different from conversation, debate, or discussions. The difference becomes clear when we look at the origin of the words debate or discussion. The word debate or debate comes from the French débattre, meaning to beat or strike down. The word discussion, or to discuss, comes from the Old French discussion and the Latin word discutere, meaning to tear or shake apart. So dialogue is something quite different. It requires greater efforts and can therefore yield greater rewards. Dialogue is used as a method to improve communication between people, resolve conflicts, and illuminate a case from different perspectives. An inclusive process can contribute to finding new solutions. You cannot win a dialogue, and there is no loser. Dialogue is a skill, and it can and must be practiced. So to help us understand and excel in dialogue, we extracted dialogue into 8 practical principles or skills, if you like, that together can create good dialogue. It starts with being a basic attitude, create safe spaces. We have talked a lot about safe spaces. You cannot have a good dialogue without safe space. Include everyone that should be included. In a dialogue, you must listen. There's been a lot of talk about listening today in the panel before us, and that is actually quite key. So in our little book, we have called the book "Those Who Listen Change the World," because we think that deed is so important. And let everyone share their experiences, ask questions, talk about the difficult topics, and contribute to forgiveness and reconciliation. All of these skills or principles will contribute to achieving many of the IDG goals, actually, in the framework. I will come back to that in a moment. We have experienced quite a lot of resonance with these dialogue principles from different parts of the society, much more than we had anticipated when we first launched it. And especially from work life, business life, and share of boards, they have been kind of very interested in learning about this. So this book can be read, of course, and you can just do it. But we have experienced that it often takes a little bit more. Therefore, we are about to launch a toolkit for leaders at all levels to use without themselves being professional dialogue facilitators or professional trainers. It's a highly practical and delivered through our webpage. The little book is the foundation of this toolkit, and it's accompanied with small introductory films as well as easy and safe exercises that you can use in your teams. So let's have a look. Oh. Yep, oh, sorry. Because, although I have my principles here, I'll give you a little taste of the principle number one. Dialogue is a basic principle, so that you can see how the toolkit works. It starts with an introductional film, and then this is the second part. So let's see. Is it working?
Dialogue should be a basic attitude. By adopting dialogue as a basic attitude, you choose to approach challenges in the workplace in an open, curious, and reflective manner. This is a conscious choice that can over time change your patterns of behavior and increase your ability to positively influence your surroundings. It takes courage to enter into dialogue. You risk not being met with the same attitude and respect in return. Nevertheless, many individuals strive to maintain dialogue as a basic attitude, and several Nobel Peace Prize laureates have fought for peace and justice through continuous efforts to engage in dialogue. This attitude is as effective in everyday life and in the workplace as it is in the world of diplomacy and politics. To put it simply, having dialogue as a basic attitude requires a positive and curious mindset. To adopt dialogue as a basic attitude, consider the following. Meet everyone with respect and equality, no matter what. In dialogue, everyone is equally valuable. Be open, curious, and reflective. We all make assumptions based on incomplete information all the time. Do not assume you have the full picture. Assume the best intent and give others the benefit of doubt. Stay calm. Try to delay immediate reactions to what is said, as this can prevent disagreements from escalating before exploring the roots of the statement. Decide to use the principle of dialogue in your interactions with others. The Dalai Lama is a great role model. His approach to others is characterized by respect, equality, openness, and curiosity. Responsibility does not only lie with the leaders of our countries or with those who have been appointed or elected to do a particular job. It lies with each one of us individually. Peace, for example, starts with each one of us.
So that's a little taste of the toolkit, and there are 8 films like this accompanied with easy exercises that people can use. And of course, dialogue is not the answer to all of this, but looking at it, it actually resonates very well with a lot of the things that have been said here today. And dialogue is not only something to be done within small groups. Dialogue with stakeholders, involve all your stakeholders, listen to them, learn from them, and try and find solutions together. With the dialogue framework, you actually can do a lot of that much, much better. So I did a kind of little check, and I thought, well, if we practice these 8 simple, or not so simple, but we practice these 8 principles, we may start mastering some of these skills as well. And as you said this morning, Rodney, about alligators, maybe dialogue can be an entrance into the boardroom or other groups where people are a little bit skeptic. It's more practical, it's kind of maybe a way to enter into it. So with that, I just invite you to download this. It was supposed to be finished by today, but of course the technology doesn't always work. But if you sign up here, you will be able to test it and try it for a very rewarding price. A special prize for you. And so we will send you the toolkit when it's finished very soon. So with it sum it up, I think we need to develop very different skills to be able to care for our precious planet. And IDG is a very powerful framework. I'm so proud of being here and being part of this movement. And I think dialogue is a skill. It can be practiced. And I hope you are encouraged to try it out. Thank you so much.
Thank you.